Evan. Mr. Kotia, how are you doing this morning?
I'm fine. Good
Awesome.
morning to you and good morning to all your listeners.
Good morning to you. Now, at 5 a.m. today, 5 a.m. today, about 30 people had gathered at the passport office near Accra Tema Station to queue to apply for or renew their passports. It was raining heavily. These people were huddled under a shed, squeezed into a space meant for 5 people at the most. These were not unlearned low or low income earners. They came in their cars and they came in their Ubers, obviously with the wherewithal to travel anywhere out of the country. But they are aware that it is almost impossible to get registered for their documents without getting there at that time. At 8 a.m., when the office opened, the queue had grown to hundreds. And without paying a bribe of up to 700 cedis, it would be almost impossible for those who had just arrived to be registered. This is your reality if you want to get your passport today. And the weeks you have to wait for the printing of your documents can be just as frustrating. There are indeed prestige services available for those who are aware and are willing to pay for it. But the officials at the Accra Tema Station office where I visited this morning rather offer applicants the fast track offer, in quote, which costs considerably more, and takes you a shorter period of time to be served. Why is this so? Mr. Kosia will answer that question for us, but your questions are more key. So I'm going to go into the phone lines immediately, asking you, to reduce the volume on your radio. Ronald from Ajirigano is my guest on the phone line. Good morning, Ronald.
Good morning, Daniel.
Great. Is the radio off?
It's completely off.
Let's hear your question. Mr. Kosia is listening.
I hope all is well with you.
Oh, by grace. Let's hear you.
Thank God. Mr. Kotia, I hope he's doing well.
Yes, thank you.
And I'm sure that he listened to her boss. I think I was watching on telly during the weekend. He made mention of the fact that no one should pay anything. I mean, anything to any guru man or second party for a passport. But then you and I know that this thing that the woman said is not the truth. And what is Mr. Kotia doing about it? What the woman said? Because as I speak to you, I've gone to guarantee for my sister, and for the past 8 months, she's been to Takoradi like 4 times just for a passport. I don't understand. And then whenever she goes there, she'll go and meet different people asking her money. I mean, ask her to pay something before they can go through the files and then get her the passport. If the thing is not done, just tell her the truth and then she'll just find a way out. So anytime that she goes there, you can imagine, she lives here at times 4 a.m., 5 a.m. to Takoradi just for a passport. And then she'll be told that it's not ready. She'll come back. I mean, it is appalling. It is very bad. So it's high time authorities, sit up and be sincere to us. Our system is not working. Thank you, Daniel.
Thank you, Ronald, for sending in your message. Morgan is calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Morgan.
Morning.
Yeah, Morgan, Mr. Kotia is here. What's your question?
Okay. I wanted to know. Is it legal for you to pay something extra for us to get our passport fast-tracked?
Do you receive a receipt for it?
No, some of them. I'm just asking.
Okay, thank you. So that's the question.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Morgan called from Kumasi. 0302-216-541 0244340437. Maxwell is on the line from Navrongo. Maxwell, please turn off your radio and let's hear you.
Yeah, good morning, Daniel.
Good morning, Maxwell. What's your question?
Yes, please, I would like to know from the passport director why they have just centralized everything in Accra. Those of us from the northern part of the country, we are not having access to passport office. And the only one, sometimes you go there and the place is like it's closed down. And you have to travel from the up here to Accra for a passport. Why can't they, in the way, have the regional offices in all the regions for us to have access to the passport office?
Thank you very much, Maxwell, for calling. Emmanuel is on the line from Lashibi. Good morning, Emma.
Good morning, Daniel. In fact, mine is I started. I've started trying to get a passport since 2013. And when I went, I learned that they have two types of forms: the 100 cities and then the lower one, which I wanted it faster, so I bought that one, and it never get through. I abandoned the thing and left it. This year, it was one of I think last year rather, it was one of my resolutions to get a passport. I applied. I actually bought the faster one again, and this time around it's through the biometric thing that I had to do it with the internet. I go to where I have to upload my picture and it's stuck. I've been to that office twice. You donate your trouble and your frustration to them, and they just listen to you and then do it like you're doing something else, and they are gone. So I have abandoned that one as well. So to me, even getting a passport, the thing is gone out of me. You see, so the frustration is all over. They should decentralize the thing so that it should be easier for everybody to get. Fine. If they think that they should increase the price, they should make it clear to us so that we know that, okay, fine, we are paying for this much, we are paying it when we go, we get it. Instead of them telling us all sorts of things and then you go and it's not like that. For 40 years of age, a marketing manager, I don't have a passport. What if it happens that I have to travel and go and do some official something somewhere? I don't have it.
That's atrocious. Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for calling us from Lashibi. The last caller for this batch will be John from North Kaneshi. Then we'll take some text and Twitter questions before we go on. Good morning, John.
Hello, good morning.
John, I'm getting some feedback
Ben,
here.
how are you?
I'm blessed. Can you turn the radio off? I'm getting some feedback here.
Oh, sorry. Is it okay?
It's better now. Let's hear you.
Yes. I want to know what is the least time to get a passport renewed? I mean,
shortest possible time.
Come again?
Shortest possible time.
Yeah, shortest possible time that one can get his passport renewed.
Okay.
And what process the person has to go through. That's simple. Yeah.
Thank you very much, John. He called from North Kaneshi. How about we begin with John's question, even though he was the last caller. What's the shortest possible time? And that, of course, will lead us into the reason for the general delays. Okay. Mr. Kotia.
Yeah. Daniel, thank you very much, and thank you for the opportunity to be able to give out information and educate our compatriots on passport acquisitions in general. Now, to take the last question, we have two turnaround periods for passport processing. The express, what we call express, that is when an applicant pays 100 Ghana cedis to process a passport, that is supposed to be done within 7 working days. In other words, 9 days in all if you add the weekends. Okay. So 7 working days for express applications. And then for the ordinary or regular applications, that takes you up to 19 working days. And that, if you add the weekends, it takes you up to 21 days. So basically, it is either express, in which case the applicant must have paid 100 Ghana cedis, or regular processing, in which case the applicant would have paid 50 Ghana cedis, and that will take you 21 days, and then the express is 9 days.
What of the delays? So I think that's the most dominant question.
Yes.
Morgan, Ronald, Emmanuel, I just got a message. Someone sent me a slip.
Yes.
That he paid in December. He's not gotten it.
Okay. So there are many scenarios when it comes to delays. When you take the case of the Takrady case, where the caller said, I think he himself or a relative tried to process
His
a passport. Yes, over 8-month periods. That is unusual. It never happens. For 8 good months, one application, it doesn't happen at all. So perhaps we need to learn the details. We'll know what exactly happened. If this person can get in touch with me after this, would be able to check and see what went wrong for this undue delay. But
Mr. Kotia, when you say
scenarios,
it never happens, what's the margin of error? Because we find that more often than not, we hear these cases.
No, Daniel, for example, from the onset of the biometric passports, we started issuing biometric passports in March 2010. From that time until this time, we have issued 2.2 million passports across the country. 2.2 million passports. So when you take cases like, okay, I didn't get my passport, delay for 8 months, that are infinitesimal. These are not common. These situations are not common. But there are other causes of delays in processing passports, and mainly has to do with human errors in the application process. And in very little cases, we have, systemic delays. Now, with the human errors, when you take them, what we have observed from the angle of the passport office is that many of the applicants, rather than completing the forms themselves, or rather work through middlemen. Sometimes, you won't believe it, but the applicant will not even have seen the information that is captured on the application form for him or her. And the application is done on behalf of the applicant. So sometimes 70% of the information is inaccurate. Now, when this gets into the system, naturally, because the information is either inadequate or much of it is inaccurate, the process will get stalled. Now, at times, it is even difficult to be able to follow up with the applicant because they put on wrong information, including even phone numbers. So you try to reach out to them, to call them, to provide additional information or to provide clarification on information contained on the application form, and you can hardly get them. So that application will remain there. It will get stuck. So there are varied reasons, but much of the reasons have to do with human errors.
When you say infinitesimal, have you been able to measure that out of these 2.2 million, it is X number that are delaying because of these errors that we have?
We haven't been able to put a figure to that. But the point I'm trying to make, or the essence of the figure I've just dropped, is that in 99.9 of the cases, we are able to process applications on due time.
But you don't have a number to give me. So how did you arrive at 99%?
Yes, because, for example, when the contract was signed for biometric passports to be issued in the 2010, a certain target of passports was given the contractor to be able to print, and a certain target was given to the passport office to issue. We have exceeded that target, and that's the point I'm making. That look, in many cases we are able to deliver. Yes, I would admit that in a few cases, very few cases, we have these challenges of delay and the rest of them. And where we are able to understand the cause of the challenge, we are, in a position to immediately resolve them.
When the challenge is because of an error in the filling of forms,
yes,
like you mentioned,
yes,
what can be done at whose cost?
Well, first of all, it is the responsibility of the passport office to call on the applicant to draw attention to the inaccurate information or the problems on the form. Now, if we get lucky to be able to reach the applicant, that is quickly resolved. But if in a situation where we are not able to reach the applicants, then we all get stuck, because we cannot reach the applicant to say that, look, you didn't provide this information that is required, or your application did not meet the requirements for a passport. Therefore, either restart or provide additional information. So that in itself is also a challenge. But where we are able to reach the applicant, we are able to resolve these things and move forward with the processing of the application.
Information I'm receiving right now is that at some point, the attitude and process at the passport office for online application needs serious review. At some point, the last point where they take your biometric details and picture, they end up mixing the files. So those who came late end up being served first. It creates problems. With the human interface there, isn't that where the problems are fermented?
Now, when you go to the passport office as an applicant waiting to be captured, sometimes whilst waiting in the queue, you will see that whilst you have been waiting for maybe a period of time, waiting for your turn, people who come in late or after you are taken care of. Now, there are certain categories of people for which we jump the queue legitimately. And when we are jumping the queue for them, we are obliged to announce to the waiting public that, look, for these circumstances, this is what we've had to do. For example, when you take medical cases, medical emergency cases, when those people come to the passport offices, they don't join queues. When the aged come to the passport offices, they don't join queues. And children, babies, will we put them ahead of the queues. So you may be waiting, all right, legitimately, taking a number, waiting for your turn. But when these things happen, we find a way of capturing them. And sometimes, because of lack of communication, you know, the applicants wait and think that, okay, maybe there's some underhand dealing. Why is this person coming late and having his turn ahead of me and that kind of thing?
But you
So
see,
I
Mr.
think there's
Kotia, when
miscommunication
I
there.
went to the office on Friday,
Yep.
Anyway, and I went to the office on Friday, and we were told plainly that
Yep.
at the right amount,
Yep.
we can we
You
don't
were
have a
t-
queue problem. We were told.
And by
an
who?
official.
By staff?
Yeah, by an
of the-
official.
Yeah. So what you ought to have done, Daniel, is to identify that person and bring it to our attention so that we can, you know, deal with this situation, because that is completely unacceptable. Nobody is supposed to pay any amount of money to join a queue. Once you go and buy your form or pay for the voucher to process your passport, it is a one-time payment, and you are not required to pay any additional amount of money to any person. So I would advise applicants, when they go to the passport offices, they should identify people. You know, we have asked all staff to wear their badges, their ID cards. Of course, their names are not on the ID cards, but there are numbers on the ID cards, you know. So if there are incidents like this, bring them to the attention of management.
But Mr. Kotia, in the system where the norm is having to go in queue at 5 a.m.,
Yes.
aren't we being encouraged?
Well, the
pay
problem
bribes.
with the 5 a.m. is that passport office opens officially at 8 a.m. Now, why and how people go there as early as 5 or 4:30 to queue, we are yet to understand that ourselves. I believe it is largely part of a perception created by middlemen that, hey, if you don't go in early, you will not be taken care of. Because the passport office opens at 8 o'clock. And when they open at 8 o'clock, between 8 up to 9:30 a.m., there are still numbers available for numbered cases. Now, this is how the
When you say
process works.
numbers available for numbered
Yes,
cases,
numbered cases. Well, there are two streams of applicants at the Accra Park. We have the online application system, which you appear at the application center by appointment. And then we have the manual application system, where you walk in there and take a number and join the queue. Now, the numbers are not given to any applicant at 5 a.m. They start the distribution or the issuance of numbers to applicants from 8 onwards, and that spans between 8 till 9:30 a.m. So if you are there by 9 o'clock, you are likely to get your number. 9:30, you get a number, because we serve as many as 200 manual cases a day and about 250 online cases a day. So a total of about 400, numbered cases. Now, the unnumbered cases are the aged, the medical emergencies, the children who come in and do not have to join the queue. You are talking about another 50 people per day. So you're talking about a total of 500 people going through the process at the Accra Passport Office on a daily basis.
at the Accra Passport Office.
Yes.
At
The
that
daily-
pace, how many people are we going to cover by the end of the year?
By the end of the year.
Yeah.
Well, we have to do the math there.
No,
Yeah.
I'm asking this question for a simple reason, because if I go to ShopRite today,
Yep.
ShopRite has about 20 outlets for me to step out of. There's no way a queue is forming at ShopRite
Yes.
today.
Yes.
ShopRite knows the number of people that they want to serve.
Yes.
So at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Passport Office, where like ShopRite, you have only about 2 or 3 outlets for the millions of people who would want to patronize your service. We are expecting to have a queue formed, isn't it?
Well, this brings me
Which
to the
goes
question
to
of
Maxwell's question in Avrongo. Why is everything
decentralization?
centralized?
Yes. Now, so when we started with the biometric passport system in 2010, we started with the establishment of the Accra Passport Application Center, which is located at the old Foreign Affairs building. Now, by 2011, we opened 5 more passport application centers in Ho, Takrady, Sunyani, Kumasi, and Tamale. So we have a total of 6 decentralized regional passport application centers.
For 29 million people.
No, and only last week, we commissioned 2 more. That is Kofredia and Tema Park.
So 8.
And by the close of this year, that is the last quarter of 2019, we are going to be opening Bolgatanga, Wa, and Cape Coast. Then beyond next year, that is up to next year, maybe by mid next year, we are looking at opening offices in the 6 newly created regions of Ghana.
By early next year.
By mid next year.
By middle next year.
Next year.
Okay, so that's Maxwell from Navrongo's.
Yes. So by the end of this year, there will be an office. There will be an office in Bogatanga, Wa, and Cape Coast as part of decentralization efforts of the ministry.
It's 24 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. Francis Danti Kotia is my guest in studio. He's our guest, I should say. He's the director of passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. I'm going back to the phone lines very quickly, but I want you to just clarify this issue for us, Mr. Kotia, that you referred to. You mentioned that one of the causes of delay is a systemic error. What does that mean?
No, not systemic error. I said largely due to human error, and in some cases.
So I said one of the causes,
yes.
like you said.
Yeah, it's
what does that mean?
Yeah, because of the growth of our activities, expansion in our activities, we in some cases experience, slowness in the systems. So, for example, the AFIS, what we call AFIS, sometimes it gets choked, and that will contribute to the delays. And the AFIS is simply the automated fingerprint identification system, where we collect a pool of fingerprints. Because of the expansion, in our work, and because of the increasing volumes of applications, I think our systems are growing smaller and slower, and it is largely due to the fact that some of these systems are, quite old. So there's ongoing effort by the ministry to upgrade our systems and to provide new equipment to the passport office.
And also
so
because they are carrying a lot of data.
Of course. So that is the natural reason. So we are trying to expand that and to upgrade the systems to be able to carry this data.
And how soon are we upgrading these systems?
This is all being done in the course of this year.
But are you not able... I'm surprised that with a system like this, you are not able to tell us that this is what it is causing us in terms of number of systemic failures in a year, in a month, in a day.
Well, as I indicated initially, the delays are mainly caused by the human interface, where in many cases, applicants themselves, you'll be surprised, very educated people, they don't even read the guidelines of completing their forms. They bring the forms, you look at them, and you wonder whether this was completed by this person, just because the person didn't have anything to do with the form in the first place. They decide to deal with the middleman. They give the information, this is my name, this is my date of birth, go ahead and do that. And then they get to the passport office where they need to present themselves physically, and then they are beginning to have challenges because...
But how are you proactively dealing with... sorry, the phone lines are open, 0244-340437, 0302216541. How are you proactively dealing with these middlemen, which have become a menace in the office?
Yes. One of the ways, in fact, the fundamental way of trying to eliminate the activities of middlemen is that we are going online. As I speak to you, of all the 9 passport application centers, 4 currently process online applications. Now, the plan is that by the 3rd quarter of this year, all existing passport application centers would migrate from the manual system onto online system. Now, if it is an online system, I think we'll be able to minimize the activities of the middlemen. That is one way, one sure way of doing that.
Let me take Echo Kumson's call. He's calling from Sakomono. Good morning, Echo.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you doing?
I am blessed. Let's hear you.
Good. So, good morning to the Director of Passports, too. I have a challenge. Way back 2016 or 2017, thereabouts, I applied for passports for my children. In fact, the whole family. I renewed mine, my wife, and then we got all save one of our children. The passport office did well. They called me that there was an issue with that particular application. It got sorted out, and then I had to follow up and go and pick the passport. I got to, I don't know, the one around the regular place. Is it the Tema station thereabout?
Yes.
And I was told, after waiting for about 2 or so hours, I was only told that the passport wasn't there, but I should go to, is it the Rich place, that other one. I got there. We had a friend there, so they were able to retrieve the passport number. for me. I gave them the passport number. They searched and searched and searched. They couldn't find it. I was asked to go again, and it's been like that since 2017. I can't find the passport. Now what they are telling me is I'll have to go for a police report and then come and reapply. The thing is, I didn't even receive the passport. So what am I going to tell the police? That it got missing at the passport office? I'm not too sure what to do now. So if you can speak to it and then show me what I need to do. I just don't want to reapply for her. Then it means she would have two unique passport numbers pointing to the same person. It's not right.
Thank you very much, Eko, for calling. And that's an interesting situation you have there. John is on the line from La Paz. Good morning, John.
Good morning, Daniel. How are you?
I am blessed. John, please turn off the radio. We have some feedback. And
All right, I'll do so. Is it better now?
Yes, much better.
Okay. Good morning to the director of passport.
Good morning, sir.
I have a huge problem with the way the process is being managed. I applied for the renewal of my passport about 2 months ago. The date for collection is in April, and that's what it said was an Easter day anyway, Easter holiday. So I went a few weeks after. When I got there, I was told that the passport is not ready. And on the slip, the collection slip, they wrote SI and asked me to come back again in 2 weeks' time for that passport. I tried to inquire what exactly is the problem. The gentleman was unable to tell me, only told me that there's an issue. So I left, went back again after 2 weeks, the same thing. I tried to inquire exactly what the SI on that collection means. They couldn't tell me. So I spoke to a few colleagues of mine, and they said SI means superior intervention or serious investigation or something like that. This is renewal of passport. It's not a fresh application. And I applied online. And I asked myself, if I apply for a Ghanaian passport online renewal, you've made me to go through the same process as a fresh application. The director of passport is talking about a huge amount of data they have to grapple with. And I asked myself, why allow for renewal of passport to go through the same process as a fresh application? You could have just picked the person's old passport number and then go back to your system, because the fingerprint, the signature, the digital signature are already in the system. So why do you allow the person to go through the same process? And as I speak to you, I still don't have my passport for over 2 months now. If it's not for this program, I intended to write to the director of passport to explain to me the status of my passport and why nobody has been able to explain to me what is the exact problem why my passport is not ready. And I think they need to work, to speed up the entire process. What we are having currently is nothing to write home about. So I'm still asking the same question. What is happening to my passport after 2 months, and what does it mean when you have SI written on the collections? Thank you.
Thank you very much, John, for calling us. Jasper is on the line from Aoshi. Good morning, Jasper.
Good morning, sir.
Yes, let's hear you.
Okay, my problem is I did this online application for myself and my children, but then they did not even state there if you get the process going, at least the maximum people you're supposed to do the registration for is 5. When I was doing it on the 4th one, when I did the payment to MTN, I didn't get the transaction code for my application to continue. So I called them that this is what I have done. And then they told me to call MTN. I did call MTN. They said they resolved it. And then I should go back onto the portal and then get it done. I went back. It wasn't coming. I reported to them. Nothing was done to it. So I did another payment. When I did another payment, they told me I can go ahead and get it done. I did it, and then I went back to MTN, and they were telling me that the money that I had paid to them, they had been able to rectify it, and then I should get back to passport office for them to rectify that for me. But then they've stated there that in a year, you can just do for a minimum of 5 people. So what happens to my money that I have paid that it is no fault of mine that had happened? How do I retrieve my money?
Thank you, Jasper, for calling us. Interesting case there. Hope is calling from Kumasi. Good morning, Hope.
Hello, Didi. Good morning.
Hi. Good morning.
To you. The issue about passport in Ghana is not easy at all. We are discussing a fantastic topic this morning. And there's one thing I don't understand. passport in this country is very hectic and tedious. You know, 3-4 years ago, I applied for one, and up to date, could you believe I've not been able to access it? And
3 years.
one official told me I should have paid an extra fee so that it would have come earlier. And I don't know whether that extra fee, does it go to the government coffers or it goes on individual pockets? And what is the difference between that extra fee and the normal fee? I just don't get it. Didi, ask your resource person in the studio.
I want to understand his extra fee. Was he offering you a prestige service?
Pardon?
Did he offer you a fee with a receipt?
No.
He said give him the money.
I did not. I actually did not pay for the extra fee. I applied for a normal passport, and it could not come through. It couldn't come at all. Okay. I don't get it.
Okay, thanks. Hope from Kumasi. It's been 3 years. Very interesting. Ajman Joseph is from Community 9 Tema. Good morning, Joe.
Good morning, I hope you're fine.
I am blessed. Let's hear you.
Yeah. You want to ask, is there any difference between the normal one and the express one in terms of charges? And secondly, if I'm going to renew my passport and I'm going to do the new one, I mean, are there some difference between the renewal and the old one that the new one I'm going to do?
Okay, so those are the two questions.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much, Joseph. Ajman Joseph called from Community 9 in Tema. It's 30 minutes to the top of the hour. This is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM with me, Daniel Dazi. Our guest in studio is Francis Danti Kotia. He is the Director of Passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. He's answering all the questions that you have about the passport process. We'll take just a few messages. When we come back, there are questions about a passport which is supposed to be missing. There's a question about a renewal of passport, which had an SI written on it. What that means, I'm not sure. Jasper had a question about the maximum number of people he can have, which is 5 on a specific form. Hope has not had his passport he applied for 3 years ago. Najman Joseph wants to know the difference between express and the regular process, among others. We'll answer those questions. We'll take some of your texts and tweets when we come back. Stay with us.
So you wanted that weave, that one that's so long it touches your toes. Got it. A disco light for the room when the sweetheart comes over. Swoon your matron. Bagged it. Those chrome spinning wheels that will have people at church praying to be you. But them. Now, how about those mega woofers that will wake up the whole neighborhood? Ordered. Because you've got the card that makes it all possible.
You don't need a bank account to spoil yourself. You can now securely load funds for travel, pay for goods and services online and at your favorite shop, or give your loved ones unending spending options or possibilities with a perfect gift card. Get a Cowbank prepaid card now, because you can.
Cowbank, forward together.
The Malcolm Grand Furniture Sale promo is on. Really? Tell me more. Enjoy 10 to 50% discount on the entire range of home and office furniture. Wow! Exclusive offers you won't find again. I like it. Remember, terms and conditions apply. Malcolm, where Ghana shops.
At Afrodan, we believe that many of the problems people have with their health is as a result of the way they sit. In other words, your chair can kill you. Here's Dr. Marcus Mann of the Chiropractic and Wellness Center.
What you have to remember is that the spine is the lifeline to your body, and posture is the window to that spine. Now, posture is affected by your daily activities and habits like sitting. That's why at the Chiropractic and Wellness Centers, we recommend what I believe to be the best chairs available for preventing not only subluxations, but also other health problems that you may not be aware of. And that's Rabami and Mobilex chairs. Unfortunately, on a daily basis, I have to correct the effects of this poor sitting habit in our businessmen and businesswomen. Always remember, optimal spine equals optimum health.
So, for the sake of your health, buy Rabami or Mobilex chairs from Afrodan. We're on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade. Telephone 663-085.
Hey, Kwame, what's up here?
My brother, my wife has been diagnosed with cancer.
What? My brother is here with kidney disease too. Oh, yeah.
Do you know the World Health Organization estimates that over 16,000 new cases of cancers are diagnosed annually in Ghana, and kidney diseases account for 10% of all medical admissions to Kolebu?
But thanks to Glycocritical Illness Plan, GSIP, I have spent over 20,000 Ghana cedis on my younger brother's disease. Yeah. What is GSIP?
Glycocritical Illness Plan, GSIP, provides you with financial support when diagnosed with any critical illness or dread disease such as cancers, strokes, kidney failures. Speak to GlycoLife today on 0302 218 500 for your GSIP policy. It is definitely in our interest to survive. GlycoLife, we cushion you for life.
Well, it's an exciting campaign.
Wash your hands with soap under running water. Sleep on the treated net to avoid mosquitoes. Malaria away. Good life, live it well. Enjoy your life. Choose family planning. Breastfeed your child. Exclusive for 6 months. Nutrition for all. Good life, live it well.
A great journey lies ahead of us all, but we all have different paths carved out for us. When choosing your path, make sure you choose a partner you can trust, a partner with integrity who will always stand with you and give you the support you need when you need it. No matter who you are and where you are in your journey in life, you are very significant, and so is the path you're on. Consolidated Bank Ghana cherishes financial security as much as you do and shares the same values as you, and that is why we are the right financial partner to stand with you. We are now one of the largest banks in Ghana, and we are ready to partner and work with you. CBG, we stand with you.
Seesaw, up and down. Seesaw, up and down.
Dear Ghana, up and down is good for some things, but your internet is not one of them. It shouldn't go from 4G to 2G like child's play. Get true 4G LTE internet for grown-ups. Grab a Surfline 4G LTE MiFi device today. At Surfline, we give you 10 gigabytes, then add 5 gigabytes of data when you make your first purchase. Call us on 0302 745 777 or visit any of our retail outlets and get the internet you deserve. Yours truly, Surfline. It's about time.
Oh, Mickey, why are you looking so sad? Massa, smile small, eh?
Charlie, you know say I make what for alone. Don't come and laugh at me.
Now, who says that they laugh at you? Now, I make what pass you said. After months of jumping from one bank to another, Massa, Prudential Bank finally sorted me out.
Wow. They make also go there and try my luck.
Massa, this is not try your luck matter. Oh. As a government of Ghana employee, you are covered. You don't even need to have an account with them.
Hey, really?
Oh, yeah. Once your salary is paid through the Controller and Accountant General's Department, Jack them sharp. In addition, Prudential Bank has special loan products for SMEs, non-traditional exporters, micro businesses, as well as loans for any staff of a private or public institution whose salary is paid through Prudential Bank. Best of all is their low interest rates and flexible terms of repayment.
Really?
Massa, just walk into any of their branches nationwide or call 0302 781 198. Terms and conditions apply.
Hey, I say, but where you go? Prudential Bank, of course.
Prudential Bank, your trusted and dependable partner.
Once upon a time, there lived a milk called Cowbell.
Cowbell?
Yes, and everyone loved it. It made delicious cereals, beverages, and the most enjoyable porridge. And one day, something amazing happened.
What?
Cowbell came to my glass of water, so I mixed it and I stirred it, and it turned into delicious and nutritious milk. You want to try it?
Yes, but this is pink.
Yes, because this is the strawberry flavor.
I love strawberry. It's yummy.
And refreshing. That's Cowbell, our milk, full of vitamins and minerals, so you can grow up to be a strong boy.
Yay!
Next time, I'll tell you which other flavor came to my glass of water, okay?
There are more?
Cowbell, our milk. There's something for everyone.
Cowbell, our milk.
I am Dr. Kotia. Acacia gives your workers the best customer service and treatment options when the need arises, keeping them healthier and more productive for your business. Acacia Health Insurance. We place value on those you value.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7 FM.
That's it. Yeah, African Man original. Gary soakings for breakfast, noodles for supper. Gotta eat proper, but my pockets ain't dapper. Junk food, manics, economics is a bluffer. Need to go organic on my health, Mike. As I grew old, I was told to be tougher. Gotta shoot the fire to survive, but I'm a rapper. No doubt, if the shots ring out, braka. I ain't going out like a sucker, I might. If you got a name like Muhammad or Mustafa, flying might be tougher. My sympathies, brother. But since I was fair, it's been hell with you other. Like Benjamin Linus, your grind is bound to. Baboon, the job, boy, monkey, the suffer. Tension in my inside like Ghana, they play soccer. Success and relative child, ants and warfare. The issue, no bro, go miss you if you. They suffer, taxi driver they suffer, musician they suffer, opposition they suffer, passport applicants too they suffer. They suffer. You never know joy. From what we are hearing this morning, this is the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM. 3 minutes to the top of the hour. My name is Daniel Daze. Here with Francis Danti Kotia. He's the director of passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. Caught up in traffic in rush hour. Wish I had so many of your questions coming in because we are asking you to ask Mr. Kotia any question that bothers you about the passport application process. We've taken a number of phone calls already. We'll be addressing them now. Before that, the National Identification Authority (NIA) hereby announces that it will commence mass registration for the Ghana card in the Accra West operational zone from Monday 29th April to the 25th of May, which was last weekend. These crabs in the barrel more concerned about a barrel, argumentative and talkative. I silence with a gavel. Travel is extortion. Now, text messages, pardon me, are brought to you by Afrodan. Your back must last you a lifetime, and Glyco Critical Illness Plan GSIP. Glyco, we cushion you for life. Afrodan is offering you today the most comfortable chair in the world, the Nightingale Extreme Comforts Chair. It has over 10 thoughtfully engineered features, especially customized for your health and comfort. So go to Afrodan on the first floor of the Swansea Shopping Arcade and feel this chair. You'll be amazed. Call us on 0302 663 085. Don't keep it stepping like a kappa. Get the Glyco Critical Illness Plan for financial support when diagnosed with critical illnesses such as cancer, strokes, kidney failures, and others. Just speak to us today on 020-2222-113 or dial Star Glyco on the Star Phone app available on Android and iOS. Glyco Life, we cushion you for life. Mr. Kotia, let's start with Echo's question, isn't it? Yeah. So Echo he says he's been told that his passport is missing, but he never actually got the passport. He never received it in the process. What could be the problem?
Yes, thank you very much, Daniel. Could be a number of factors. As I indicated earlier on, the activities of middlemen is one of the reasons why you can't, find this situation. Sometimes when the applicants deal with middlemen and they don't go through the system directly themselves, this could be a result. And I'm not saying that in the case of Echo, he necessarily dealt with another person indirectly at the passport office. But in many of these situations which have come to our attention, where the applicant has not received the passport and yet the passport cannot be found in our system, it has been printed, issued, but has not been delivered to the applicant, we found out that some of these people dealt with other people who came for the passports on their behalf and yet did not give out the passports.
But that's not a case because he hasn't mentioned.
That's what I'm saying.
Himself.
And apart from that, in some of the cases where we have personally encountered, you ask them, were you dealing with somebody? They said no. But at the end of the day, when you check, you realize that from the beginning of the process to a certain point, the applicant would have been dealing with a person, and then at some point that person withdraws and leaves the applicant. For whatever reason between them, you cannot really tell. But I'm not saying that ECHO's case. So what I would do is to check specifically what went wrong with his case since 2017 to see what the problem is, and then immediately fix that problem for ECHO. Now, the other issue from our ECHO had to do with the SI, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. The SI is simply...
SI was who? But you go ahead.
Okay. So SI stands for Superior Intervention. Now, Superior Intervention is simply a software or a system in which applications which do not meet the requirements of the passport application process, when they are filled by the vetting officers, end up in SI. So, for example, if your textual information on the form are not compatible with the documents you attach to the application form, that application will be filled by the vetting officer electronically. And that application, when it is filled, ends up in what is called the SI. Now it is up to an officer to look through and see what the problem was and see whether it can be corrected at that point. So it is at that point, the SI point, that corrective measures could be taken. So usually the cases which end up under SI are either textual, that is data on the form which is not compatible with documents you have attached, or the quality of the biometrics is not good enough. Therefore, the vetting officer will have to fill the application, so it ends up there. So in this specific case, we have to check. We have to get his details, check and see what was the reason for the SI, and then immediately correct it and go ahead. Sometimes the applicant is required to supply additional information. Until that information is supplied, the application remains in SI.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll take the Joy Business Minutes now, and then we'll come back to do with a few more of the questions.
Hello. Welcome, everyone.
It's the Joy Business Minutes with Karen and Daryl.
Government has served notice to more than 15 oil exploration companies to punish or revoke their licenses. That's if they fail to meet the requirements of the exploration license given them.
The country's total debt stock has hit 198 billion cedis ending March this year. It's increased by 22 billion cedis in just 4 months.
The Economist Intelligence Unit is projecting a policy hold by the Bank of Ghana as a monetary policy committee which has been meeting since last Wednesday prepares to announce its position on the policy rate today. The policy rate was left unchanged last time the committee met to review the status of the economy.
Fiat Chrysler has made a transformative merger proposal for French car maker Renault. The combined business will be 50% owned by Fiat shareholders and 50% by Renault stockholders.
Join us again at 3:06.
We'll have another update of business news for you.
Still live on the Super Morning Show on Joy 99.7 FM, and we'll go back to the questions that you have brought in already, Mr. Kotia. So we didn't finish dealing with all of them. There was also Jasper, who went and tried to get forms, but he was told that he can't register more than 5 people at a point. And at that point, his registration process expired, and so he had to come back and start again. Now he is asking if these fees are non-refundable, and if it's not through a fault of his, why he has to reapply.
Yep. In putting in the application, applicants have to be very diligent because we are not authorized. The passport office is not authorized to refund fees which have already been paid. Once you pay the fees into the consolidated account of the government, it is very difficult to get those fees back. So we are not authorized to refund those fees. So in making any application process, the applicants need to really be very distant. It is unfortunate that he went through this situation, but next time I would advise that in a similar situation, applicants should rather get in touch with the passport office rather than the service provider, because this was a case where he was dealing with MTN. MTN said, we have fixed the problem, go back to the passport office. By the first instance, they should have dealt with us. We have a small office within the passport office at Rage, which handles such situations. So you come to us, report the case, and then
Complaints.
We have a complaints unit located at the Rage passport office.
Only at Rage?
Now, at the regional parks, the complaints units have to do with the OICs themselves. So you take up the issue with the officer in charge, whether it's Kumasi, Tamale, who take up the case with the OIC. The OIC will then take up this matter and resolve it. So in Accra, we have an office, a unit, complaints unit, where you can come up with all these problems you have a hitch with your payment, expansion of your applications. Just come and then we'll be able to fix
I
the
actually
problem.
wrote this down to come to the issue of complaints.
Yeah.
Because it looks like your system of resolving complaints has also been called to question, considering the number of cases that we are receiving.
Yes, absolutely. In many cases, some of the applicants really make the accusations or the allegations without coming to the passport office. They tell you that I come to the passport office, frustration, I cannot have access. But those who have been able to reach us at the passport office, we have been able to resolve the cases for them. In many cases, people who have made attempts to reach us and who have been successful have gotten their issues trashed out. But if you make one attempt and you encounter one frustration or the other, and that would be an unfortunate situation, because passport acquisition should not be problematic, even though we are aware that people go through these kind of frustrations. But they should make the effort to get to us, and then we'll be able to resolve some of these matters. They are not issues that cannot be resolved.
But how accessible are you if you have a complaint unit at Ridge and I go to Tema Station?
Yes.
For my passport, it means I have to come to Ridge and lodge.
No. Tema Station is a passport application center on its own. So the OIC is there, just like Kumasi, Ho, and the rest of them have access to the OIC and said, "This is my issue." He will take it up, and many people have done so. In many cases, there are people who have accessed the OICs at the regional levels, and we are always on the phones with our colleagues at the regional levels. You know, the complaints unit at Ridge, they handle all these things.
So you have to go there and ask for an officer in charge.
You have to have access to the officer in charge and say, "This is my issue."
Is this an officer dedicated to complaints, or this is the officer in charge of the office?
At the regional level, it is the officer in charge. But at the national level...
When you say officer in charge, you mean the head of the office there?
The head of the office there. So it is there are no specific complaints unit at the regional levels. But at the head office level, we have a complaints unit which caters for all issues arising from the regional levels. And this is transmitted through the OIC.
But realistically speaking, do you think that with this OIC system, he can work and take care of complaints at the same time?
So far, that is what we've been doing. Perhaps we can improve upon it. You know, moving forward, we'll probably have to establish complaints units at various parts. But this is a work in progress for all of us.
My name is KB. Please ask your guest whether he's aware that the online application platform is being used to siphon money from the public. This is because I paid through their online payment system, expecting to receive a token number on my phone to be inputted to continue the application, but I haven't received any token since 6th May 2019. Today is the 27th. I had to buy another one at the bank to start the application again, and there's no one to talk to because their helpline doesn't work.
Well, this is one case in which he's saying the helpline doesn't work. There have been other instances in which people have gotten help through the helpline. So again, what we need to do at the level of the passport office is to try and improve upon all this. And all this feedback is very useful for us to be able to improve upon our service delivery to the general public.
But how regularly do you check these systems? How regularly do you check these systems in the first place to make sure that they are working and you are able to serve the number of customers that you want to?
Yeah, for example, we only get to know that there's a problem with the system when there's a feedback. If somebody comes to us that, okay, I was attempting to do this, I wasn't able to do it, then we get to know that, yes, there's a problem with the system, and we immediately fix it. But otherwise, what we do is maybe on the, I wouldn't say on a regular basis, but periodically we check our system. We let our service providers mainly check the systems to see that they are working very well and the integrity of the systems are very intact. But as and when people complain, then we go back and then...
But yeah, even for the mode of entering the complaints, because I went to the website this morning when I came back from the summer station office. I went to the website this morning to look at what the process meant. Of course, I have a passport, so I can't apply again. But I was looking at how this thing went, and I realized that the complaint section, I couldn't find where the complaint section was even on the website to lodge a complaint, because it's about accessing and servicing these people's needs. That's what really make your customer service.
Absolutely. I agree with you, Daniel. And this is useful feedback. I get back and then we'll check to see what the problem was. But we'll take it up from there.
Live on the Super Morning Show, Joy 99.7 FM. My name is Daniel Daze. Our guest this morning is Francis Danti Kotia. He's the director of Passports. We are taking a number of your tweets and your WhatsApp messages now. At I am Nana Yabua says, hello. Please, I just want to know the simple process for renewal. Where do I go? What do I do? Yes. Online, or I have to be at the office in person? Someone asked me to pay 500 Ghana cedis. Me, I don't have that money to spare. Hashtag Joy SMS.
Yeah. So don't pay that 500 to anybody. It's a one-time payment for passport processing. And if you indulge me, I'll just briefly take listeners through the passport application process. So currently, we are running, two systems. That is the online application system and the manual system. Now, with the online application system, if you are applying for a passport for the first time, or if you are renewing your passport, the process is the same. The first point is to go to a designated bank. We have 4 designated banks. ADB, Ghana Commercial Bank, EcoBank, Fidelity Bank. You buy a voucher. Now, in that voucher, there's a code which will enable you to access the online system, and then you begin the process of application. So you fill in the information on the form, you attach your relevant documents, do your printout. Now, the online system is by appointment only. So you are given a date, or you choose a date from a number of dates and time. And then on the date, the due date, you present yourself physically at the passport office. Now, this applies to both a new applicant and somebody who is reapplying or renewing a passport. Now, the reason why you have to go through passport processing again if you are renewing your passport is that, first of all, your textual information, which you may have used initially for the original passport, would have changed over a period of time. The passport originally was issued for 5 years validity. Now, within those 5 years, perhaps your profession would have changed, maybe from student to, a worker. Perhaps some other information, your location address would have changed and all that. And we need to constantly update our database. So that is why it is important for the applicant to come again to go through the process. And even by ICAO standards, you cannot maintain one photograph in your passport for more than 5 years. So at the end of the 5-year validity, now, of course, we are issuing passports for 10-year validity. You cannot maintain one picture for 15 years straight. So we advise that you come back and go through the process again. So you have a new picture. We update your information on your file and all that. And that is very helpful for the applicant and the passport office. So that is the reason why we insist that people should come back and go through the same process. Now, with the manual application system, what you do is you still go online. That one, you don't go to the bank to purchase the voucher. You go online on the ministry's website, which is www.mfa.gov.gh. You go online, go to the passport link, download a PDF manual form. It's a PDF manual application form. You download it, print it, complete the application, duly completed application. Answer all the questions on the application form, attach your relevant forms, and the relevant documents, the mandatory documents. Birth certificate is mandatory. That is for first-time applicants. Now, if you are a second-time applicant or if you are renewing a passport, you must necessarily attach your current passport to the application. Once you do that, you then present yourself. That one is not by appointment. You walk to the application center yourself and present yourself physically to go through the process. Now, there are other processes which are operational, which we take you through, from vetting to capturing, and then, eventually printing of the passport and delivering it to the application center. So the processes are not really cumbersome. The processes are not complex. They are straightforward. You just have to take your time, read through the forms yourself, if somebody is doing it on your behalf, that person should be able to read through the forms and put in all the information that you require and attach all the documents that you require. Sometimes people walk into the passport office with an application form. They don't bring in the mandatory supporting documents, which is a birth certificate or an old passport. What they do is they come with a voter's ID card. We have to send such people back. We advise them, go and bring either a birth certificate if you're a first-time applicant, or bring in your old passport if you are renewing a passport. So we do a lot to help applicants. Ideally, the applicant should be able to complete their form on their own, get everything right before they come to the passport office. But in many cases, we find ourselves assisting and guiding officers. You didn't fill this form, you didn't put in this information, you didn't put on grandparents' information. So, my grandparents are dead, why do you need that information? So we have this back and forth with applicants sometimes, and that contributes to the delay in processing of it. But once everything is okay, the application shouldn't have a problem. And you don't need to pay 500, 200, 300 to any other person. It's a one-time payment. It's either 100 cedis for express processing or 50 Ghana cedis for regular processing.
But you change your number when you renew your passport. When you are renewing your passport, you get a new number.
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
We don't maintain the same number.
Why?
The number is a unique identification for the passport. So, but what we do is when we print the new one with a new number, we still indicate in the new one that you use the passport with this number. So that is what we do. That's international best practice. So that is why when you come to renew and you bring in the new passport, you are coming for the new passport, you must bring along the old passport where we do the cancellation and indicate in the new one the old number. But the number cannot be maintained. It's a unique number for that particular passport.
For the booklet.
For the booklet.
But shouldn't it be a unique identifier for the individual?
No. This is about ICAO standards. That is how it is. That is how all passports are, universally. So you don't maintain one particular passport number throughout the use of the passport.
Okay. When is the right time to renew one's passport? My passport will expire in November. I don't know if I should renew it or wait till it expires.
I would advise that Mr. Kojofori can start the process of renewing it, because I believe that passport would be 5-year validity. We started in April to issue 10-year validity passports. So, he doesn't have to wait till November. He can do that now.
Okay. I renewed my passport last year. My old one was a black passport. My previous passport was not cancelled. Neither was it indicated in the new passport that I had traveled on the old one. When I inquired, the officer said there was too much pressure on them. Question is my passport valid without that info stamped in it, as it is usually done?
Yes, the passport is still valid, but best practice, it has to be cancelled. And it is unfortunate that an officer would have said such a thing to the applicant. So I would advise that the applicant in question should still come to the passport office with the 2 passports for that to be done. And they should go to room 2 or room 1 at Rich passport office for the cancellation and the stamping to be done.
So that's where the complaints office is, room 2?
Complaints office is not room 2. That is where the cancellation is done.
The cancellation is done in room 2?
Yes.
So when I have a complaint, where should I go?
You can come to room 3.
Room 3?
Yes.
Okay.
Room 3 at passport office.
Okay. It's 19 minutes past 9. I have too many questions and too little time. But you're still live on the Super Morning Show. I'm trying to get this thing to work so that I can get some more questions here. Ask the passport office why one has to submit an affidavit, of change of name when the person has already given them a gazette containing her new name. This happened to my wife. As gazette is superior to any other documents when it comes to the issue of change of name, I wonder if they have any lawyers.
Well, thank you for the question. As I indicated, I think that people need to read the forms very well. These are legal requirements. Both the affidavit, a sworn affidavit, to the fact that you have changed your name, either you have added a name or dropped a name, and then the publication of the name. These go together, and these are 2 requirements which are mandated and we are obliged to follow that.
Kingdom Books and Stationery offers a 30-day credit facility with no interest charge. We deliver free within Accra, Tema, and surrounding towns. Call us on 0302 764 101 or 762 or visit kingdomgh.com. It's 20 minutes past 9. Our guest this morning is Francis Danti Kotia. He's the Director of Passports, and we are answering all your questions about passport renewal. Good morning, Daniel. Can you ask Mr. Kotia? Okay, we've done this one. I saw this one. I have a birth certificate, pardon me, from Zimbabwe, but it doesn't make me a citizen of that country. I want to apply for a passport, but someone told me it will be difficult. What are the challenges that I encounter applying with this birth certificates? Mr. Kotia.
The question again?
He has a birth certificate from another country. He wants to know what to do.
Yeah, if he's a Ghanaian, what he has to do is to provide, the relevant documents of his parents. If both Ghanaians are, Ghanaians, the only difference is that he was born in another country. Of course, he will still present that birth certificate, but he needs to present the relevant documents of both parents to show that the parents are Ghanaians. He was only born in Zimbabwe. The passport can be done. It's not a problem. The place of birth is not a problem. The fundamental thing for him is to prove that he was born to two Ghanaian parents, or at least one Ghanaian parent, and that'll be fine.
Yeah. Daniel, my passport has expired for over 2 years now and it's biometric. Will I have to restart the entire process as a fresh applicant or simply renew the expired one, which is basically like the old one anyway?
Yes.
I'm told that after 2 years of the expiration date, one has to apply for it as a fresh applicant. Is that the case?
Well, I said earlier that applying for the first time and renewing a biometric passport, the process is the same now. You still have to go through the same process of, taking your biometrics and taking a picture and all that. So it's about the same process.
Now, here's one related to the one you just answered. I delivered my son in Nigeria whilst doing a master's program. I came back home with him using a travel document from the Ghana High Commission in Lagos. I have already submitted the forms for a passport for him and taken the pictures, but they were saying because his birth certificate is from Nigeria, he needs clearance. I attached a copy of my passport, so I don't know what else I have to do to prove that I am Ghanaian, and he is also Ghanaian. Want to know what I can do since I'm supposed to have been back in Nigeria to finish up my master's program.
Okay, so I advise him to come to the passport office to see us, give us the details of that passport application, and we'll sort it out. The child is entitled to the passport. It's as simple as that. He's a Ghanaian, so his child is entitled to it. It's probably in SI because of maybe the documents, the foreign documents, but it can be cleared.
Now, my wife sometime in 2014 went through the application process at the Accra office. She was told the passport was ready, but each time she went for collection, they kept tossing her, so she abandoned it. After we got married, there was an opportunity to travel to Kenya, so she decided to apply for a new one here in Takrade. Her application form got to Accra and was returned on the basis that she already has a passport in the system. But here's the case: she was unable to take custody of the first one.
Yes, we experience many of such cases where the passport is done all right, but the applicant doesn't get it, and they go ahead to start the process of obtaining another passport.
But can you say the passport was done? Because in that case, the person never received it from your office.
If it wasn't done, she would not be told that she already has a passport in the system. It means that when she went through the second process, the system indicated that she already has an application in the system. It's a biometric system, so your fingerprints will come up, everything, textual information will come up to be the same. So therefore, they will suspend the application. That will also contribute to the delay. So perhaps in going to Takrade to do the second process, he should have declared that I initiated the process in Accra already, and it is possible my name is already in the system. In that case, they would have then cancelled that one which was not delivered to her to take her through this process. But if she went ahead to do it without indicating that there was a previous one, it will get stuck because the system will show that this is double application, and double application is not acceptable. It's
so
illegal.
What happens now?
So she has to come to us, and then we'll cancel the previous one and print the new one for her. So she has to bring the case forward. You understand? Has she approached anybody at the passport office?
Now, these issues are brought up regularly. You see that, and that's the challenge that I have. We seem to be dealing with a number of cases on this show, where normally these should not even be coming to the level of the director. What does this say really about the efficiency of the system that we are running?
What I'd like to say here is that many of these issues that you are encountering or which come to your attention, there are also a number of cases where the issues come up. We resolve them as efficiently as possible, but when they don't come to our attention, we will not be in a position to be able to tackle the situation. So, for example, if she didn't make any contact with us, the complaints unit, she probably didn't even know that there was a complaints unit, which would be
because there's no independent unit as the regions. It's the same officer who has to deal with all the other work that she has to do.
Absolutely.
Who carries out.
That is why I said moving forward, we'll probably have to consider setting up complaints units at the various centers. Small units, to dedicate officers just to take complaints.
You're saying probably. Next time you come, I can ask you about it.
All right. So certainly, we have to set up complaints unit going forward at the regional levels.
When?
To take into account. I cannot give you a timeline here, but we should be able to do that, to receive this feedback and to be able to give timely, fixes or solutions to some of these problems.
Okay, it's 26 minutes past 9 here on the Super Morning Show. We still have loads and loads and loads and loads of your questions for Mr. Francis Danti Kotia. He is the Director of Passports. Yes, is the Passport Office going to continue normal registration with their own database? Or after the NIA is done, the office will just rely on the NIA database? I want you to chew on that question for me. I would come back to you for the answer. But you can enjoy an exclusive shopping spree in Sandton City, Johannesburg. All you need to do is make all your payments from now with your Barclays Visa credit card, and you could win a flight to South Africa for the getaway of your life in Sandton City. That's all you have to do. Don't let this offer pass you by, because this is the one for you. Barclays is part of the ABSA family. Call 030-242-9150 for more information. Terms and conditions apply. Now, if you're looking to acquire a home in a well-planned and secured community with access to an ultra-modern sports complex, Olympic-sized swimming pool, football, basketball, athletics, and gym facilities, Eden Heights has it all. They are at West Hills, close to the beach resorts around the Atlantic Ocean, about 30 minutes drive from the airport and 5 minutes walk from West Hills Mall. Eden Heights is the new destination for luxury. Visit us at edenheights.com.gh or email sales@edenheights.com.gh or call Mavis on 050-153-1444 or 050-153-1445 for more information. Eden Heights, welcome home.
Be part of history as we cheer with Stanbic and Visa in the 2019 Total African Cup of Nations. From now to the 9th of June 2019, pay for goods and services with Stanbic Visa debit and credit cards and get the chance to win an all-expense pay trip for tour to the Total AFCON 2019 in Egypt, courtesy of Visa. Use your Stanbic Visa card a minimum of 14 times in a month to increase your chances of winning. Visit the Stanbic Visa Park stand at participating shopping malls and get a feel of the 2019 Total African Cup of Nations by competing in the penalty kicks, ball juggling, wheel spinning, lucky dips, and many more to win amazing prizes instantly. Don't miss out. Let's make history. Go Ghana. Let's go cheer our team to victory with Stanbic, courtesy of Visa. Terms and conditions apply. See press for more details.
Stanbic Bank, moving forward.
Whether you are young or old, a girl or a boy, a woman or a man, we all can help prevent malaria by sleeping under insecticide-treated net every night and throughout the night. Let's protect ourselves and our families from malaria. I'm Rebecca Kufuado. I believe and support the Good Life campaign from the Ghana Health Service, and so should you.
Good Life. Live it well. It's an everyday thing.
Brown Coffee, your ceiling be smooth, bright and fine, Papa.
That's an understatement. It dey blink like 80 carats white gold. This be Interface plasterboard ceilings. Smooth, bright, and long-lasting. Everybody where they come here, they fill up. Where they direct them go Interface Limited for world-class quality.
If you're involved in new property development, renovation, or decoration, the right place for you is Interface Limited. Call us on 0274-999999 or visit our website at www.interfacelimited.com.
Mr. Menu, Class 5.
Mr. Ama, Class 3.
Nurse Comfort.
Nurse Mary.
Everybody remembers a kind nurse or a remarkable teacher, and we at your preferred bank, Societe Generale Ghana says, are you called to all teachers and nurses everywhere? We know how hard you work to take care of us, so we want to say thank you by offering a highly discounted loan for all the things you've dreamt of doing. You deserve a better bank and cheaper loan. So SG Ghana is offering a fantastic interest rate loan for all teachers and nurses, so don't miss out. Even if you're not a teacher or a nurse, we have something special for you too.
Hurry! Promo runs until 30th June 2019. Step into any of our branches across Ghana or call 0302-214-314 to find out more. And remember, terms and conditions apply.
Come to a serene atmosphere. Beautiful green grass. Spacious and conducive just for your social and corporate events. Weddings, parties, anniversaries, get-togethers, funerals, retreats, and more. Get in touch with Royal Dazzle Event Center today. Locate us between Ashaliboche School Junction and Trasacco, precisely Major last stop. Follow us on social media, Facebook at Royal Dazzle Event Center, on Instagram at Rodaz_Event Center. You can also send an email to royaldazzleeventcenter@gmail.com or call +233 246 202 144 or +233 558 148 585. Royal Dazzle Event Center, creating memories and more.
Memories and more.
At UBA, we pay close attention to your every detail, making you feel like a VIP every time you visit us. We have the strongest financial and technological background, making us #1 in risk management. We have offices in New York, Paris, and London, and presence in 20 countries across Africa. UBA has successfully operated in Ghana for almost 15 years, with 28 branches throughout the country. Visit us today at a branch near you. UBA, Africa's global bank.
So everyone says I'm a Kosia filler, but it's not like I'm nosy or go out to find out the latest filler. It's just that I get 50 megabytes of data free after paying for only the first minute of every call. And so I just keep discovering stuff minute after minute. That's how come I was minding my business, scrolling through my timeline, and I found out Coco has a new baby. Oh, and last week, I learned Ken won the lottery. You see, Ken is my brother's friend. So hello, look who's about to roll with the rich and famous.
Enjoy even more value with MTN Free After One. You only pay for the first minute of your call on MTN Free After One, and the rest is free. Plus, you enjoy free 50 megabytes worth of data to browse your favorite sites. Compare where, compare there. So dial *315# to sign up. We day for you everywhere you go. Terms and conditions apply.
This is the 12th edition of the Water Africa and West African Building and Construction Exhibition and Seminar Program in Accra, and it's brought to you by Ace Event Management Limited. This program will be held at the Kempinski Gold Coast City Hotel from the 26th to 28th of June 2019. Limited exhibition space is still available, and I know you don't want to miss this. For more information, call 024-851-8390 or visit www.ace-events.com.
Coffee in your cup and joy on the set. The Super Morning Show is always the best bet on Joy 99.7.
24 minutes to the top of the hour here on the Super Morning Show on Joe 99.7 FM. I am Daniel Dazi. We are here in the studio with Francis Danti Kotia. He is the Director of Passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You are interviewing Mr. Kotia this morning because we are just putting your questions to him as it should be. But if you're a prospective or existing entrepreneur, if you have a smart business idea and you're troubled that you can lose your dream due to lack of funding, if you have a business that needs funding to expand or you need an investor or reliable business partner, your angels are right here. We will provide you the necessary equity funding, needed expertise and networking to get your business flying. Quick Angels Limited, your ideal angel investors. Call 030-226-7381. Visit our website, quickangelsghana.com. Quick Angels Limited, your ideal angel investors. ABSA is proud and ready to build upon the incredible 102-year heritage Barclays has built in Ghana. ABSA will continue to provide innovative products and services. Our team will do whatever it takes to assist you on your way to the top. Welcome to ABSA Group Limited. ABSA, proudly serving you in Ghana as Barclays. Enjoy a better shower experience with an amazing offer from Chemo Home. Get a shower kit from as low as 525 Ghana cedis. World-class quality with warranty and reliable performance. Contact Chemo Home for all your bathroom products on 0244 030 411 or 030-2233-224, or visit their showrooms at South Industrial Area, opposite STC or Spintex, opposite Energy Bank. Right, we'll soon be joining Enimo Enimado, who has a live report from Agbogloshi in a moment. She has found another pile of rubbish that we need to deal with very, very quickly. We would come quickly and wrap up with Mr. Kotia in studio, and then we would move on. Right, Mr. Kotia, thanks very much for obliging us this morning. And I'm going to take a few more questions. It says, hi, Daniel, good morning. Please, I started the passport application process online. I was told the process was smooth until I made the payment through mobile money. I was told the process has started and was pending at 0%. The next time I went to check, I was told my password and that I've been using since I started the process is wrong. And I was given a different site to change my password and start the process again. But it doesn't just work, or it just doesn't work. And when you call their number, they have pardon me. And when you call their number that they have put online, no one picks the call. It's been over 3 months since they've been calling the number. Please ask Mr. Kotia what they're doing about that. Thanks, Gloria from Tema Community 5. Looks like the number is problematic, the number on the website.
Okay, I'll check on that. But if Gloria could come over to the passport office to room 3, in particular, to handle the payment. In fact, room 3 is dedicated to resolving issues in connection with the payment through mobile money. Room 6 takes other complaints. So other complaints regarding your SI and other delays, you go to room 6. But when you have issues with regards to payment, go to room 3, and they would assist you to, go through the process.
Someone is asking, how come Guru Boys are able to manage express services when it's difficult for regular applicants?
I don't understand that. I mean, because if you pay for express, you are supposed to get your passport in 9 days. So if it says Guru Boys are able to,
Guru Boys are able to do it in a day. I know people who got their passports in a day.
In a day?
Yes.
And they did it through Guru Boys?
Yes.
Because we can do passports in a day. Emergency cases, we are obliged to do that. So even if it is 50 cities, which is supposed to be 21 days, if it is a medical emergency, we do it instantly for them. I can understand that. I know about that. But Guru Boys doing it.
Is there an official process for applying through a medical emergency to get this?
No. What happens is that in many of those cases, we receive letters from hospitals signed by medical administrators indicating the medical situation, and then the applicant approaches the passport application center with such referral letters to the addressed to the director of passport.
Is that the only way that you can get a passport in a day officially?
No, we also do passports in a day for government officials who have to travel within a short notice. We do that. Okay. And then for students who also come with letters from tertiary institutions or any school at all, explaining the circumstance of the travel. We try as much as possible to do that within a day.
But there are
but
Goro
we are
boys
even
in the
planning.
system.
We are even planning as a measure to, you know, to go around this situation. We are even planning, or very soon we'll be coming out with 48-hour service for passports.
When?
In the course of this year.
This year?
No specific timeline, but in the course of the year.
So by
We are
December,
working-
that's a timeline.
Yes. Well, so we intend to do that 48-hour service, maximum 72 hours. So for frequent travelers, for people who can afford and all that, so you don't have to go through.
Why
this,
don't we get the Goro boys out of the system?
We try. When you approach the passport offices this morning, when you went there, you saw.
I mean, that's why
you saw-
I met a Goro boy on Friday. After this,
How did you know he was a Guru boy?
he was working as the reception.
As a Guru boy.
I well.
He didn't have any.
He was
identification.
working. He was working at
And
the
how-
reception.
and
I
how-
can tell you that.
And how did you know he was a Guru
He
boy?
was.
He
in
wasn't
the
a
cage.
staff. How do you know he's
He
not a
was in
staff?
the cage because
Okay.
he offered me a service in less than a day for 700 cities. That's how I said
so you
he's a
should
Goro boy.
report a case like this to the OIC immediately. That is why you should
Mr.
do.
Kotia.
You know, fighting corruption, the passport office can only fight corruption if there is collaboration between the general public, the passport office, and the media, like you. We on our own cannot fight corruption. If you allege, you should be able to come up with information. Provide us with useful information so that we can investigate and take these matters up. But if we just allege, like I'm hearing this for the first time, you haven't made any complaint to the OIC, I'm hearing this for the first time as the director of passports, what can we do? Perhaps you should have identified the person, who the person is, you give me concrete information and we'll take it up.
Mr. Kotia, are you suggesting that you are unable to carry out an investigation on your own and identify who these people are?
No, but Daniel, if you say somebody approached you this morning and say you should pay this money, and you don't give that information to me, how am I supposed to be able to tackle that? Apart from that, the presence of the Guru people at the passport centers is supposed to be, you know, we have uniformed security personnel at the entrance of the gate. The purpose of those security personnel is to stamp out unwanted people who do not have any business to do with the passport office, not to be there. That is the job of the uniformed military guy, the uniformed police officer who stands at the gate. That is their responsibility. So this is the effort we make at the very instance. But beyond that, if the Guru boy is able to go beyond these people and then demand money from an applicant, it is incumbent upon the applicant to take this matter up.
Mr. Kotia, with the greatest of respect, if I may, the Goro industry thrives because there are officials of the passport office who work with them. If that is not the case, it can't work.
Yes.
So it must start from within. I mean, stopping people from enter is one thing.
Yes, that is one part of it. And yes, internal collaboration. But how do I know if you are not willing to give me the information to tackle my staff? Because I receive information, messages on my phone. I went to the passport office. I was asked to pay this. And I said, who asked you to pay what? Can you give me a name? Just give me a name. But people are not willing to do that.
I think that's a very reactive way of corporate governance, waiting for a report before you can, with the system that you know, because you know that's how it works.
Yes. We have put systems in place. That's why I say that, for example, the online system is supposed to fundamentally change this. When we eventually roll out the online system, this is supposed to eliminate or minimize the incidence of these middlemen. You understand? Because you will not come to the passport office if you don't have an appointment in the first place through the online system. You know, but if people still feel the need, and my appeal will be to the general public that as much as possible, they should dedicate time to process their own passports. People deal with middlemen for varied reasons. I don't have time to come to the passport office. I'm prepared to do this for convenience. They should be able to spend time. When I go to the bank to cash money, I don't go and say, I'm a busy man at the passport office, therefore, you know, I cannot do it. Somebody should do it for me. I have to wait and do that. If you come to the passport office...
In the first place, the banking system has been reduced to the barest minimum.
Yes.
You have to do the least possible.
Absolutely. We're also doing our possible best.
That is one.
It's work in progress.
Have you started? I'm sorry, I have to step in like this, but have you started an independent investigation to see where who these Goro boys are and who they deal with internally, in independent, since you know this is a menace that occurs?
It's a menace, and we've been grappling with it. We have had situations where we have apprehended people, where we have had concrete information about activities of the Guru men, where they are caught. We have handed them over to the police. Some of them, once we hand them over to the police, it becomes the responsibility of the police to prosecute. Some of them, depending on the
how many have been handed over to the police this year?
So many times.
This year?
So many times. I cannot put a figure on it, but many instances for varied reasons. Either collecting money unlawfully, either bringing in people who are not supposed or who are not qualified for our passports. When we apprehend them, together with those who led them to the passport office, the groommen, the middlemen, we hand them over to the police. And once it gets to the police, it becomes the responsibility of the police to go ahead with lawful prosecution or whatever.
So I asked this question earlier: is the office going to continue normal registration with their own database, or after the NIA is done, the office will just rely on the NIA database?
Well, I think that at some point we'll rely on the NIA once they finish rolling out what they are doing.
Completely.
I wouldn't, for now, I cannot tell whether it will be completely, but as much as possible, we'll synchronize our data, the two institutions, to be able to do effective verification of applicants' applications. Whether or not it will be completely, I cannot say that for now, but I know that we, as much as possible, we are going to be able to work together. Yes.
Thank you very much. This is where we have to wrap up our conversation with Mr. Francis Kotia. I hope we answered your question. I realized that a number of the questions were being repeated, so I'm praying that we answered all your questions listening. Mr. Kotia, any final words in 30 seconds?
Yes, I would like to thank you profusely for this opportunity for us to educate and inform Ghanaian citizens on the acquisition of passports. My advice is that people should try to do things on their own. Come to the passport offices yourselves. If you have any complaints, make sure that you get answers to it. It's a service we are providing. It's not a privilege, it's a service you are paying for. Therefore, we are obliged, to be able to resolve these things. And people should come forward. People should, as much as possible, try to avoid the use of middlemen, and then come forward with their complaints, whatever they may be. And we also intend that going forward, we'll be able to leverage technology to enhance our service delivery, the processing of passports and the production of passports. We are going to leverage technology to be able to enhance these activities, to make things, much easier and less frustrating for applicants to go through. So I cannot give a timeline on this, but moving forward, the hassle, the frustration associated with the acquisition of passport will become a thing of the past.
Thank you, Francis Kotia.
Yep.
Danti Kotia is the Director of Passports at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and he's the one we had that conversation with. Thanks for joining that conversation at home and in your offices listening to us. We will go straight to Agbogloshi